Hey guys, it's Ed again. Today is Sunday and I'm working on trying to make one exhaust out of two. This is for the XR75 project over here. And I'm thinking, if you guys see here, this is cranked in here pretty well. And this does not seem to be cranked as much. This area here is dented, but it looks to be factory because it's dented also here. This weld is pretty good. Looks to be factory, but this pipe has some chunkies here. So this pipe over here does not have as many chunky bangs, dents, whatever you want to call them. So I don't know what to do. I'm thinking maybe what we'll do. This is definitely deadened up pretty good. And this is really pretty nice. So I'm thinking if we cut this, maybe just a little bit. This has got to be what? Maybe 1.5 inches. Actually, here we got a tape. Okay. So that's about 1.75 inches. And if I cut that 1.5 inches, that'll clear using this little tab as our guide point. If I cut that at 1.5 inches, that'll clear that hole. You can see this little hole right here. And that will, I think, allow us to get rid of this section. And then what I'm going to do is right here, where it's all goobered together, I think somewhere there maybe, I want that seam to be as close as possible to the original spot. But this pipe is good here, so I might even cut it in the pipe and weld it in the pipe. I don't know yet. But we'll worry about that end later. This end this way. Now, this muffler is not the correct muffler for this bike. This is off Harvey's 76 or 77. I can't remember what year it is. But anyway, the muffler that would have been on the 74 is doesn't have this turn down on it. It just comes out, and it's actually a little bit flatter here. So I assume this is probably a spark arrestor of some sort. So I'm thinking about cutting that off. But once I get into here, then we'll know exactly what I'm dealing with and what's inside here. I assume there's probably some kind of batting or muffles or baffles, or maybe there's fiberglass in it or something. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing in it. This pipe here has been cut off. It looks pretty square, like that wasn't hacked off, like this was hacked off, but this pipe wasn't. So this may go into a chamber with a bunch of baffles to slow it down and create the noise reduction. Not sure, but stay tuned. Well, we've cut into her, boys and girls, and this is what's inside of it. You can't see anything in there, can you? That's because there really isn't much of anything in there. This pipe actually does get cut off, or doesn't cut off, it just truncates in there. So, which is kind of cool to know. So I don't believe this pipe, I cut it back a little farther. I was only going to go back 1.5 inches, and I went back quite a bit farther. Figure I better have a little extra than not enough. So, especially to match the two up, and being it's kind of a cylindrical shape, it's going to be challenging to figure out how to get it back together. So, but anyway, we're going to take this one, and I've noticed that it's all goobered up with some JB Weld. I think I remember that, but ooh, look at that. That looks good. That's nice looking stuff. Anyway, this is going to get morphed onto the end of this somehow, and that's the way she's going to go. So stay tuned. I've dug out all that JB Weld they had shoved in there, and as you can see, she got a hole, a big hole, and that's probably not good. But then again, maybe it is good because I've been trying to knock out some of these dents on the front side here. And from the inside using this bar and then trying to beat on them on the outside, kind of like a hammer and dolly. That's not working so well. So I think we're going to split her, open it up on this weld if I can, and then try to weld it back together. So we'll see what happens. Hey guys, we're working on the muffler for the XR75 project, and I've been off it for a little while, but now I'm back into it again. I'm trying to basically, I've cut this green side off from this pipe because this part of the pipe is smashed pretty bad. I was able to buy this pipe here, the rusty one, off eBay. I think I give like 15 bucks for it. These exhaust systems, when they're all together, are like 600 bucks. So that's a little bit nuts. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of doing an overlay to figure out where it's got to go. This looks really good. There's a very small hole. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. Right above my thumb. Right there, there's a little slot, and there's a little hole inside the rusty one, and they line up. This muffler here is off the 76, and I had the this thing on it. The 74s don't have those, so that's kind of what we're working on, and I think it's going to look pretty close. So, but what we've got done right now is basically just put an over clamp on it so I know what it's supposed to kind of look like. I've taken a measurement here. It's approximately 5/8 of an inch. Let's see if I can get that up there for you. So actually we can come back a little bit. Right from that point I measured from the other one, we need to come back a little bit. So let's try that. Yeah, I'm going to put you guys up so you might be able to see a little better. Okay, guys, I set you up on this side. I'm thinking you might be able to see it a little bit better. So anyway, what we're doing here is we have this measurement from here to the cut, which is 5/8 of an inch from the farthest point out. We then take a mark. We come out here from this point to the 5/8, which is right there. We should be able to line those cuts up. Something to that effect, I think, is what we're going for. Slide you guys over a little bit. And yeah, I actually like that better. The only problem is now I can't clip the clamp on this side without it falling off. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be a process here. Let me think about it for a little bit, and I'll bring you back. Hey, guys. Well, what we're doing today, continuing on with this muffler project here, and we're going to do a test fit. Now, this pipe isn't quite the right end that's supposed to be on this, so I'm just trying to, we may have to do some cutting on it to make it right. It does hang on a bolt over here that I'm trying to get around. And then this, the angle of this, looks actually pretty close where it should be. It should be up a little bit higher, I think. So I'm going to try to tweak this a little bit. Get this up where we need it. The other thing I think will have to happen is that this is going to have to spread this way. We can do that when we weld it, I guess, on the one side, and then we can bend it out. because this has to have a recess in the back of it to hold it down. The shock is right in the way. So let's just make sure we kind of got it in the right spot. And then we'll go put some tacks on it. And let's see, this is going to be in that area. Bolt goes under there. Yeah, I think we're pretty close with what we got going on there. So looks pretty decent. Let's go back over to the bench and check it out. Okay, as you guys can see here, this bend is this part right here, I think is extra bent, maybe from where I knocked the dents out of it. But I think if I get this welded back up and get this welded on so I can get the vice grips out of here, I can actually crank this, get this bend out of this a little bit, and then it'll clear. So the next thing we'll see is welding. Guys, this is our setup. We have 3 clamps on there, and we're going to put some spots on it, and then we're going to go down here and try to fill that and weld that crack back together and make that prettiest. Anyway, guys, I want to set you here on the stand. Oh, if you ever want to know what I use for a welder, I've had it for a long time. It's a Lincoln. It's a SP135T. I use straight CO2 because I'm cheap. Yes, you can use straight CO2. She burns a little hotter, but it works. So here, let me get you set up. There. You're right, looking all right right there, I think. Maybe my elbow will get in your way. Maybe I'll spin you around on the backside. What do you think? Then I won't be in your way so much. Okay. Let's have at her. See what we can do. Get some ground. Give that a little adjustment. Watch your eyes. Blew through a little bit. We'll fix that up. Got getting a little overzealous. Kick my heat down. See if I like that any better. Much better. There's one hole gone. There, I blew through it. This way. Let me whack this a little bit. Yeah, it's not Musty's hammer, but it's kind of the same idea. I hate that noise. It's when you blow through. Okay, good enough for now. Let's try. Actually, let's put one more on it. Put one right in there. There. Now we can try to pull this all back together and get this set up. Now a couple spots. See if we can hold it. Okay. You guys want to see what I'm really doing? Get you up here a little closer. Okay, guys, what do you think about that? Look pretty good? Now, I want you guys to watch your eyes. Put your helmet on. Now I'm adding all that material on there so I can actually grind that down. Make it look so not ugly. Let's see if we can pull this together with something. Well, I should hold that together. I was only going to tack it, but I might still just leave those tacks and fill those later. So let's go down and give it a trial fit. See what we got, if we like it or not. Okay guys, I've got the back of this on here. Hoping you guys can see this. And I just kind of set it back on. I think it's going to set pretty good. And I should be able to weld that back on. Of course, I'm going to have to make a patch where the big hole is. And get that back together. But the actual fit, kind of trying to hold it all together. Goes around, hangs on that bolt. It might need a spacer, but I think that's going to be pretty decent. Maybe a little adjustment, but I think we're going to be good. So back to the welder again. Let's get this tacked together. Okay guys, we're going to put some more weld on this back side to hold this back together. And then we'll work on welding this back. So let's try this. Oh, we need to turn the machine on. Okay, let's try this again. Ground. Come on, baby. Get ground on that rusty piece. There we go. Okay guys, this is what we ended up with. She's still smoking a little bit. I got a few tacks down along the bottom, a couple tacks around the side here. It's not pretty. I welded up that crack, and I've put a couple down through here to kind of piece it back together. And I do have a pretty negative spot right there, which I'm needing to fill up. And then I got to cut a piece. I think I can get rid of this now. I think I can get rid of that. I'm going to have to cut a piece, I think, to go in there, because I'm going on the outside to give it something to weld to, and I'm thickening up the muffler a little bit. So up there I think I can fill it, but down here I'm not really sure. Probably have to cut a piece. Hey guys, well, I spared you the hour of welding and chasing little holes, but we seem to have gotten pretty much all of it bubble gummed back together. I don't know if any of you guys ever tried welding rust. It's not easy. It's a challenge. So she's not the prettiest, but this is the back side, so I'm not overly concerned how ugly it is. I'm going to hit it with the grinding wheel. And right down here was where that hole, you see that new piece of metal right there. That's where the hole was. That was blown out of it. That looks pretty good. And I even tried to create like a little lip. I'm going to hit it with the grinder. I think I might need to do a little more goobering over in here too. But we'll clean it up with the grinder. We'll see how many holes we got. We'll try to sculpt it to create that lip shape a little bit without blowing through what I've already done. And then I think we'll pretty much have a muffler. This has some tiny holes up in here. I might just make a patch, weld a patch right over the top of that, because I can't see. See if I can get it up here for you guys with this slicing away here, clamp. I'll never be able to chase those. That's real thin. So I'll just fold, take a piece, put it in a vise. I'm using real thin gauge stuff. It's thicker gauge than rust, so it's got to be an improvement. So when you come back, maybe it'll be all ground down. Okay, guys, I set you up on the tripod. We're going to do some grinding. So you guys got your safety glasses on? I got my regular glasses on. So I hope you guys don't get hit too hard. Oh, my camera don't get hit too hard. Let's go. I think you guys are getting hit. You gotta holler if you're getting hit. I don't want you guys getting hurt. I ain't got that good insurance. Man. Come on. Okay. Let's put you over here. Let's try to put you over here. See if you like that any better. Where are you? Can you see anything? I can't even see you guys. Where are you? Well, I guess that's not too bad. I'll use my body to shield you. Take one for the team. You guys get the idea? It's going to be a while. Okay, guys, we got the exhaust muffler back on the bike here, and it looks pretty decent. I had to whack the hanger here, but it's just kind of setting on the bolt, which is the way it's supposed to be. It's hitting this very slightly, but not bad. And the pipe is still the dented pipe, but the exhaust is all pretty much back together. It's been ground and doesn't look too shabby. I think it'll work. We'll give it a wire brush and a coat of high temp flat black, and then we'll work on the front piece of this, getting this thing all tied up. But guys, I have some other things I need to do today, so I think we're going to conclude this part of the video, being the back half of the muffler, and we'll make a new video for the front half of the muffler. I want to thank everybody for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Guys, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a very rusty and maybe even slightly crusty New Year. Bye.